everyone. Thank you for joining me on I Am Maggie Love channel. And I am Maggie Love. I so appreciate you being here with me and spending this time on this journey. What we have been doing is we are doing a slow crawl through the magic of everyday life by Maria Szepes. And we are just journeying, slow crawling through this book to see what pearls, what tools, what things might help us or others around us in their journey. When you do get a chance, I do appreciate it if you would subscribe and like and leave your positive comments. I am working towards my first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of video watching time or watch hours. So I do appreciate if you are watching, subscribing, liking, and your positive comments. Thank you very much. And I would love to hear in the comments what you're working on. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get back to chapter 14, The Secret of Popularity. We are nicely crawling right through this book, and there's just been so many pearls and tools that we can use. It's been fantastic. The observant individual with eyes open soon realizes, almost in the form of an event, how rare true dialogue is in the midst of disguised or open monologues in almost all areas of human coexistence. Even when people are seemingly exchanging ideas, conversing with one another. So she's saying, even though you might be, there's a world where you're just only in your own self, and then even if you're interacting with others, you're still kind of in your own one point self. So delving behind superficial expressions and gestures, it suddenly becomes obvious that a pathetic, chaotic sense is going on. Have you ever talked to somebody and you just feel they're being fake nice, or they're just not in their body and they're just not present? If you're aware and you're awake, it kind of kills the mood, and it definitely doesn't, cause you to sort of bond or, I don't know, enjoy, because you don't feel heard, and I'm sure the other person doesn't either. But it's very interesting sometimes when you do get around people and it's like this fake sort of forced niceness, or, they're not really there. Everyone is weaving their own idée fixe aloud or in silence. The reflexes in which they conventionally react to each other's words disguise deaf boredom. Ooh. And beneath the guise of this cover, the most suggestive associations are throbbing. So when we talk about microaggressions, or we talk about, you're putting on a certain disguise, but really what's going on inside is you're checked out, or you might even be thinking negative things towards that person, or hopefully positive things, but you just might not be present. In actuality, everyone present would prefer to make an appearance before attentive, impersonal beings who listen to them with ever-glowing interest and devout rapture, among those whose chief role is silence. So she's basically talking about a listener, somebody who's actually attentive to you, listening to you, present with you. Everyone would prefer to have an in-depth discussion of their most painful, most recent, exciting subject, or wish to obtain the most wonderful, hope-filled, healing news about themselves. So everybody likes to hear good things, right? But there is no one to listen with attention and enthusiasm. So it's interesting with relationships. We really need people to listen to us. Of course, you have to have that trusted person who listens to you when you're down in the valley of the shadow of death. But what's really interesting, and it's just important to have somebody who's listening to you when you're up on the top of the hill and everything's going good. And it's really interesting sometimes how at the two polar ends, it can be difficult to get somebody to actually be present with you, listen to you, either, not fix things, but, listen to you as you are going to figure it out with spirit, and just be your sounding board and holding that space for you, or being happy for you when you have succeeded and you have joy and you're on top of the world and all those things. All right. Because for every development, fertilization, and bearing of fruit, like the chemical wedding, two are necessary. The two polarities, whoa, the positive and the negative power. The you and I, there it is again. Someone who speaks and someone who listens. Someone who gives and someone who accepts. The creative electrical current flows between those two polarities and is dissolved in them. And so it's also important to take turns, right, in this type of relationship so that, both people are getting their needs met. Okay. So we're going to listen better when people are speaking. We're going to look for good listeners when we are speaking, and someone who accepts and listens so this electrical current can flow. A person who talks too much and always about themselves is generally unpleasant, is usually considered a laughable fool. They are passed by their acquaintance, pretend that they didn't see them on the street, and hurriedly cross to the other side. And it's not, everybody's at different points. There's different reasons sometimes why people may talk too much. Sometimes their needs weren't met. Sometimes they're actually nervous, and it's a nervous impulse, but a lot of times people will avoid them because there's no reciprocation. While someone who can responsibly, that is, with some impersonal support, listen to others is acclaimed, a charming, witty conversationalist. So it's interesting, recently in a discussion with somebody about business, she was telling me one of the most important traits that's rare in business is to find a very good listener. And somebody very close to me, she endowed that positive comment. And it's just, we can all work on being active listeners, positive listeners, and be more present. And this is going to be one of our superpowers. People are electrified in their company. In the exuberant interest of their comments, they do not even notice that the conversation is one-sided. It seems to them that instead of another person, as full orchestra is crescendoing the world's most colorful theme in innumerable variations. They are incomparably amused, take respite, and are strengthened. Whereas the only thing that happened was that their projecting energy did not spill, but was gathered by someone who accumulated it, allowed it to pass through them, and reflected it back. So there is that good listener, traits of the good listener. An act took place, and although no sexual element commingled into it, it nonetheless brought fertilization and abatement into the existence. So it gives an environment for growth, connection, that electrical current to grow. Healthy balance means transmitting positive and receiving negative energies alternatively with each other based on what is required, similar to the rhythm of breathing. Yes. This is suited to the soul's androgyny, which is the only way it can be filled with revitalizing energies that give and that take, that flow. We need to get in the flow. The outward flow of restlessness, infertile energies, or their collapse inward, denotes the soul's ejaculation without the other polarity taking notice. So that's what we're talking about. You're just not in there. You're not present. You're not listening. You're just not there. You're disassociated and out, schizoid wound in energy healing. Anyway, which exhausts and chases the soul and to neuroasthenia and various chronic diseases of the imagination. So she's basically talking about, to be a popular person, and we can change that word just to be a person that people want to be around, whatever, that is. She's talking about how it's important to be present, to be actively listening, to be compassionate, to be kind, to let the electrical current, flow between the two, positive and negative, so to speak, the different polarities, so that there is an actual current or an energy that's created and a bond that helps people heal, that helps people come away feeling positive, that helps people come away feeling healed. Everybody wants to be seen and heard to some degree within their comfort. You know, some people need a lot of alone time, but they still need environments where they can be seen and heard by people that they feel comfortable to be seen and heard by, people that they feel that they can actually drop their pearls of life, their deepest secrets too. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am hoping that you are learning that you are the magic of everyday life, and the magic of everyday life is all around you. Maria Szepes was just brilliant when she wrote this book. It's just amazing, and it has just done a lot for my life as I continue to pick up tools and pearls, things I already knew sometimes, but like helped reawaken them or helped me to decide to reuse them, and other things that I couldn't verbalize or I couldn't express, and then other things that were new to me. So thank you so much. When you do get a chance, please hit subscribe and like. I would love to hear your positive comments, and I know that you are wonderful and having a great day. And remember, peace in, peace out.